Excerpts from the Confessions of St. Patrick, Part 2. After I arrived in Ireland, I tended sheep every day, and I prayed frequently during the day. More and more, the love of God increased and my sense of awe before God. Faith grew, and my spirit was moved, so that in one day I would pray up to 100 times, and at night, perhaps the same. I even remained in the woods and on the mountain, and I would rise to pray before dawn in snow and ice and rain. I never felt the worse for it, and I never felt lazy. As I realize now, the Spirit was burning in me at that time. It was there one night in my sleep that I heard a voice saying to me, "You have fasted well. Very soon you will return to your native country." Again, after a short while, I heard someone saying to me, "Look, your ship is ready." It was not nearby, but a good 200 miles away. I had never been to the place, nor did I know anyone there. So I ran away then and left the man with whom I had been for 6 years. It was in the strength of God that I went, God who turned the direction of my life to good. I feared nothing while I was on the journey to that ship. And after 3 days, we made it to land. And then for 28 days, we traveled through a wilderness. Food ran out, and great hunger came over them. The captain turned to me and said, "What about this, Christian? You tell us that your God is great and all powerful. Why can't you pray for us since we're in a bad state with hunger? There's no sign of us finding a human being anywhere." Then I said to them with some confidence, "Turn in faith with all your hearts to the Lord my God, because nothing is impossible for him, so that he may put food in your way, even enough to make you fully satisfied. He has an abundance everywhere." With the help of God, this is actually what happened. A herd of pigs appeared in the way before our eyes. They killed many of them, and there they remained for 2 nights and were fully restored. And the dogs, too, were filled. Many of them had grown weak and left half alive by the way. After this, they gave the greatest thanks to God, and I was honored in their eyes. From this day on, they had plenty of food. They also found some wild honey and offered some of it to me. However, one of them said, "This honey must have been offered in sacrifice to a god." Thanks be to God, from then on I tasted none of it. A few years later, I was again with my parents in Britain. It was while I was there that I saw in a vision in the night a man whose name was Victoricus, coming as it were from Ireland, with so many letters they could not be counted. He gave me one of these, and I read the beginning of the letter, the voice of the Irish people. While I was reading out the beginning of the letter, I thought I heard at that moment the voice of those who were beside the wood near the western sea. They called out, as it were, with one voice, "We beg you, holy boy, to come and walk again among us." This touched my heart deeply, and I could not read any further. I woke up then. Thanks be to God. After many years, the Lord granted them what they were calling for. Another night, I do not know, God knows whether it was within me or beside me, I heard authoritative words which I could hear but not understand until at the end of the speech it became clear. "The one who gave his life for you, he it is who speaks in you." And I awoke full of joy. Another time, I saw in me one who was praying. It was as if I were inside my body, and I heard above me, that is, above my inner self. He prayed strongly with sighs. I was amazed and astonished and pondered who it was who prayed in me. But at the end of the prayer, it was clear that it was the Spirit. At this, I awoke and remembered the apostle saying, "The Spirit helps the weaknesses of our prayer, for we know not what it is we should pray, but the very Spirit pleads for us with unspeakable sighs, which cannot be expressed in words." And again, the Lord is our advocate and pleads for us.